Is it working? I don't know if it's working. Somebody let me know. Okay, here we go then. It's almost 8 o'clock. Yeah, no, it is 8 o'clock. Bang on. There we go. We're here. I think most of the people have already gone. Hello, Ryan. I assume you're sat in a hotel room. I have clothes on, yeah. I'm glad this isn't a Zoom call. Oh, it'd be a bit disturbing. Hi, Ben. Hi, Neil. I don't know who else is on chat. Hugh was here. Hugh's probably gone. Who else is in? We've got 8 people in. What a quiz night it will be. I've got my lovely decorations behind me. As you can see, beautiful spiderweb. Creepy things. No trick-or-treaters tonight. They've all got COVID. So, yeah. Who's working? Someone's working. I'm not working. Same number of mags I sold. It's such a meanie. Right then, okay. Do we wait for people to roll into the chat? I don't know. I got the special Quizmaster spider hat on. Get it on straight. There we go. Beautiful. So we're going to have a Halloween quiz night. Yay! Because no one can go out, what with the lockdown in certain areas. And the fact that no one's allowed out to spread the COVIDs. And we've had the rather worrying news that we're going to have another major lockdown again, which isn't really good for the paintball industry as a whole. So yeah, not ideal. Anyway, how many people have we got? I'm saying 6 here. We had like 20 when I went live. I think everyone sorting refs out for Elite. Ben, get the refs on here. I know they're all in the pub. So they've all got like phones. They can all just sit and drink and watch this and try and answer some really easy Halloween questions. So for the quiz, can everyone hear me first? Is the audio coming through okay? Is the music too annoying? Does that need to be turned down a little bit? I can do that. Turn that down a little bit. Don't know if that's any better. So yeah, Halloween quiz. This is what we're doing. So basically, if this works, here we go. Right, you got 10 points per round. There's 5 rounds, so 50 points in total. Please don't put the answers in the chat, because that's like annoying. Please don't use Google or any other Ask Jeeves or AltaVista or is AltaVista even a search engine? I'm not sure if it was. Ask.com or any other outdated search engine. Yeah, 5 rounds, 10 points available for each round. Round 1's general knowledge, so it's just Halloween facts basically. Nothing particularly exciting about that. Ooh, is that a bit better? Move this around a little bit. Yeah. So round 1, general knowledge. Round 2, music round. So general kind of Halloweeny kind of music and associated. Round 3, TV and film. Obviously lots of Halloween films and TV programs. Round 4, name the movie. We got some movie posters where the text has been removed and you need to name the movie. Round 5, art and literature, because we're educated scholars here and we know all about art and literature. So yeah, that's basically it really. I don't know if people want to play along at home. You're more than welcome to write down your answers. If you want to send them to me personally and I can score them, then you can do. If you want to cheat, you can do that as well. There's a mixed bag of questions for mixed abilities. Some are pretty niche and you'll probably be throwing stuff at the screen going, how the hell am I meant to know that? And some will be really, really easy. So you're bound to get like 2-3 points per round. So, is anyone teaming up, or is everyone kind of just going it alone, or are they just going to sit and just gawp and throw abuse at me in the chat window down there? Hello, Stuart. Is it Celia? Albert? I can't remember. It's so small I can hardly read. Ben, Ryan, Simon. Yeah, loads of people in now. How many have we got? Actually, no, that's not loads. But we may as well kind of crack on and start with round one. So basically, hi Paul, thank you for joining us. We're going to basically run through the questions on round one, and then we'll go through the answers on round one. Then we'll go through the questions on round two, and then go through the answers on round two, and we'll keep doing it like that until we reach the end. You get bored, or I get bored, or we all die of COVID. So without further ado, let's begin the exciting quiz. I don't have any intro music, so I'll just get on with it. Right, okay. If this breaks, please don't blame me. So, general knowledge, round one. Insert music. It's an easy one. What vegetables were traditionally used as jack-o'-lanterns before the pumpkin was introduced to Europe? Now, don't shout it out in the chat. Write it down. There's actually more than one answer, but we're only after one answer. So if you think you know it, write it down. Have you written it down? Excellent. Then we'll move on to the next question. This is kind of a bonus question, so there's two points for this one. Which region of the world do pumpkins originate? So where do they come from originally? So yeah, 2 points. Don't put the answers in the chat, Ben. God, bloody hobbits. Right. Next one, really easy. Transylvania is in which country? Don't Google it. Come on, you've got basic geography knowledge. You should be able to answer this one quite easily. Write it down on your little pad. You can send it to me later to prove that you got it right. So Transylvania in which country? Those lights are a bit annoying behind me, aren't they? A spooky dead doll. Right, next one. It's more of a film question really, but it's also general knowledge, I think. Kind of general knowledge. In the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, how many people actually killed with a chainsaw? How many people were actually killed with a chainsaw? And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, remember they're massacring people with a chainsaw, so how many people do you think it was? Write it down, don't put it in the chat. What geographic region are vampire bats from? Considering that vampire bats are, associated with Dracula and kind of Eastern Europe and Transylvania. So what geographic region do vampire bats come from? Write it down. Okay, got it? Don't Google it or use any other search engine. I'm watching you, Ben. Okay, you got that one? Pretty simple. Right, next question. Count Dracula is based on a real person, allegedly. What's he commonly known as today? Okay, what do we know him by? Not his original name that they may have said in his language, but what do we know in the history books that he's commonly known as today? This is a good one. Who voiced the classic children's cartoon character, Count Duckula? Do you remember Count Duckula? Brilliant. 80s or 90s? Maybe early 90s, late 80s. But Count Duckula, who voiced the main character? You will have known him if you live in the UK. He's quite a well-known actor stroke comedy actor. So yeah, write that down. Got that one? Awesome. Moving on. This is a really easy one. What's the name for a ghost responsible for physical disturbances such as loud noises and objects being moved around? Yeah? The name, not Bob or Jimbo Jones, what's the name for a ghost responsible for physical disturbances, such as loud objects being moved around? Some kind of ghost. Okay, got that? Write it down, not in the chat. Okay? Never heard of Count Duckula? Then you're missing out. You can Google it after this. This kind of UK regional of a certain age. It's pretty niche, really. I do apologise, but got to throw some tough ones in there. Okay, talking of niche and tough, I don't think anyone's going to get this one. Name either two of the Pokemon characters that resemble pumpkins, and there's even a picture of them there. Yeah? To be honest, I wouldn't have got this one. I might have got one of them, but certainly not the other one. But name either two. I don't blame you if you use Google for this one. Obviously, by answering this one, you do admit to being a nerd. So, yeah. Name either two of the Pokemon characters that resemble pumpkins. What historical event ended on the 31st of October, 1940? Your wife. Is that, Stuart, is that the answer to the Pokemon question? Or is she a historical event that ended on the 31st of October, 1940? There's a bit of a delay in the chat windows coming up. Right, that was round one. Dun dun dun. That took about 8 minutes to get through. Right, we're going to hack through these pretty quick. Okay, so I know some more people have joined us in the chat, so we're going to answer those questions now, but we're going to go through them. Like I said, no cheating, no Googling, okay? Write them down on the pad. You can send them to me later to prove if you want, but, you know, but post up afterwards how many you scored out of 10, just so I know, okay? And if you got 10 out of 10, I think that Pokemon question is going to, a lot of people are going to be like, nah, I don't know about that. Ghost moving stuff. Okay, your wife's the ghost move. Yeah, I've got a partner that moves stuff as well. She's always putting things in a safe place. Okay, so right. Round one then, recap, answers. What vegetables were traditionally used as jack-o'-lanterns before pumpkin was introduced to Europe? It was turnips, potatoes, and I would accept beets as well. So Ben, by putting potatoes in the chat, after I said don't put the answers in the chat, you got it right. Okay, if you got one of those, tick 1 point. Bonus region, Central America. Okay, hence why, you know, they used to use turnips, potatoes, and beets before they went to America and found the lovely pumpkin and went, these are much easier to carve. So yeah, Central America, that is where pumpkins originate. So if you got that right, another point. That will be 2 points. 2 whole points. So yeah, pat yourself on the back if you got those ones right. Next up, Transylvania is in which country? Fairly easy if you didn't need to Google it and you know your way around Europe at all. Romania. Okay. House of Dracula, etc., etc. Next question. In the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, how many people were actually killed with a chainsaw? The answer to this one, 1. It's a massacre of 1. So 1 person was actually killed in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So if you got that right, well done. Put a little point on your little pad, and yeah, well done. What geographic region are vampire bats from? So vampire bats are a thing. They suck the blood of cattle and other big mammals, like that. And then secrete a kind of enzyme to kind of stop the blood clotting and stuff like that. So, yeah, what region do they come from? Interestingly enough, not Europe. Nowhere near, really. It is southern Argentina. Okay, so all the blood-sucking vampires come from Argentina. Interesting fact. Did you get it right? I probably wouldn't have, actually. If you put, like, South America or something, no, I'm not going to give that to you. It's got to be, like, even Argentina, I'll give that to you. Yeah, but it's southern Argentina. Okay, so next question. I know someone already hasn't got this, but Count Dracula. Oh, no, sorry. Most people probably got this one. I was thinking about the Duckula question. Count Dracula is based on a real person. What is he commonly known as today? Okay, most people would have got this one. It is Vlad the Impaler, not the Impala. He's not a... have I put Impala there? No, I don't think I have. I think that says Impaler. So Vlad the Impaler, known as other things in his common language, but yeah, Vlad the Impaler. Anyone get that one right? No? Okay, moving on then. Who voiced the classic children's cartoon character, Count Duckula? Okay, I'm going to wait a second and see if anyone pops up in the chat with this one. Does anyone actually get this one right? Who voiced the classic children's cartoon character, Count Duckula? Everyone's gone really quiet in the chat. Do people not get this one? Let's have a look. Yes, there we go. We got some answers. There's a bit of a delay. It was David Jason. Well done, Tom, Ben, Simon. You'll get a point. Well done. It was David Jason. Obviously, Only Fools and Horses, etc. Played Rincewind as well in Terry Pratchett's adaptation of which book was it? Colour and Magic, and the other one. Right, next question. Oh, I've broken it. There we go. David Jason. What's the name for a ghost responsible for physical disturbances such as loud noises and objects being moved? It's not your wife, it is a poltergeist. A poltergeist. So yeah, really easy question, that one. I'm pretty sure most people got that question right, so 1 point for that one. Name either of the two Pokemon characters that resemble pumpkins. I even gave you a picture of them. Just make up a name that's got like pumpkin and lantern or something in it, and you'll probably get somewhere round the right answer. I don't know if anyone actually got this one right, and post it up in the chat if you did, but I'd be very surprised if anyone actually got this question right. Only looking for one, so 1 point for either one. If you got both of them, then you don't get any bonus points. But it was Gorgeist or Pumpkinaboo. What a stupid name. So Gorgeist, Pumpkaboo. So there you go. Now you know. You can infuriate your friends. Next question. What historical event ended on the 31st of October 1940? Think about the date. Yeah? Most people probably got this one right. It was the Battle of Britain. History buffs, you know you got that one right. I know there's a few guys and girls in the chat that have probably got that one. Okay, so round one, there was 10 available questions. Scores, did anyone get 10 out of 10? Anyone get 10 out of 10 on that one? I'll be very surprised if you did. Yeah, what vegetables traditionally used as for jack-o'-lanterns was turnip, beet or potato. Transylvania is in Romania. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, only one person was actually killed with a chainsaw, so not really much of a massacre. Where are vampire bats from? They are from southern Argentina. Count Dracula was based on a real person. They were Vlad the Impaler. David Jason voiced Duckula. A poltergeist is a ghost that moves stuff around. The two Pokemon you were looking for were Gorgeist or Pumpkaboo. And the historical event was the Battle of Britain. Okay, so we've got some scores come in. I'm going to believe you on this because, you know, what's the point in cheating on a silly online quiz? Alistair got 5 right, Simon got 7, Tom Pratt got 7 as well. So yeah, we've got some 6s and 7s. No 10 out of 10s yet. So yeah. I hope you found that, entertaining as we move into round 2. But yeah, I didn't expect anyone to get 10 out of 10. There were some pretty oddball questions in the general knowledge. It shouldn't really be called general knowledge. It should be very niche, specific knowledge round. But there you go. So round 2, music question. Once again, don't place them in the chat. You know, I'll let you place hints in the chat if you want to. But yeah, music round. If you're good at music, you should be able to get these ones. There's no really hard questions in this one. So on with the first question. Well, we'll do in a minute. Name the American punk pop band that had a song with a lyric and will have Halloween on Christmas. And for the extra point as well, name the song title. So we're after the band and the song title that has the lyric and will have Halloween on Christmas. Okay, so it's a 2-pointer question. It's not Nickelback, Ben. I will give you that one. It is not Nickelback. So write that one down. It's a 2-pointer question. If you get one, then fine. Don't Google it. If you Google it, it's going to come up really easily. It was in the charts. Most people will know it. It was a few years ago now, but yeah. Okay. Next question. One of the most recognisable songs at this time of year is the Monster Mash. It went to number 1 in USA on release in 1962. But why did the BBC ban the record from airplay in the UK upon release? And when it did finally get unbanned, what year did it finally chart in the UK? So we know it's released in 1962 in America, and it was banned in the UK. We want the reason why it was banned by the BBC. And what year did it finally actually get into the charts in the UK? So we're after the reason why and the date. Write this down, it's another 2-pointer question. Okay, moving on. Why did New Line Cinema sue Will Fresh Prince Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff in 1988? It was in fact settled out of court in the end. But yeah, the New Line Cinema actually went to sue. And they did sue Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff in 1988. Pretty niche question, but if you know who New Line Cinema are, and it's a Halloween question, you might get this one. So yeah, and remember, it's a music round. Next. Everyone got that one? Write it down. Cool. Which rock, hip-hop, stroke country singer sampled... Oh no, hang on. We're moving on to the one. Warren Zevon sang about werewolves in London. But what was the name of the restaurant that the werewolf was looking for? Okay. In the lyrics to Werewolves in London, okay, he was had a Chinese menu in his hand and he was looking for a Chinese restaurant. But what was the name of the restaurant? Okay, and I want the exact answer, because most people think it's the other way around, and it wasn't Wetherspoons. So yeah, what restaurant was he looking for? Secondly, and again, 2-pointer, so bonus question, which rock, hip-hop, stroke country singer sampled Werewolves of London for his 2008 hit song All Summer Long? And I spelled summer wrong. Don't need to comment on that. So yeah, 2-pointer. What restaurant, and yeah, who sampled Werewolves of London, the song, for another song? He actually sampled 2 songs, but yeah, Werewolves of London was one of them. Which band wrote and had a hit with the song Pet Sematary for the film adaptation of Stephen King's novel of the same name? So this band wrote the song on bequest of Stephen King, in fact, because he was a fan of this band. But they wrote Pet Sematary for the film Pet Sematary. Do you know the band? Quite a well-known band, but do you know them? Write them down. Don't post in the comments. Is everyone keeping up with this? Yeah, I'm not going too fast for anyone. You all happy? Good. Right. Next question. Don't worry if you've missed out, you can catch up. Who directed... I've spelt Michael wrong again. Oh God, my dyslexia is terrible. Michael Jackson's Thriller music video. Why do you have so much reverb on? Do I have reverb on? I'm terribly sorry if I do. Maybe I need to turn the mic down a little bit. Is that better? If I've got reverb on, I do apologise. It sounds like I'm in a toilet because it's echoey in here pretty much. It's not the best It's not the best room for recording audio. Hang on, let's let me bang the mic around, but let's see if I can get this a bit better. Is that any better for you? No? If it still sounds like I'm in the toilet, then I'm in the toilet. It's not the best room for recording audio in. There's quite a lot of blank walls around and the traffic outside as well. Anyway, who directed Michael Jackson's Thriller music video? And the guy was a famous director. Can you name another spooky film directed by this person? Now, you got a list of about 5 or 6, I believe. Let's have a look. How many have we got? 2, 3, 4, 5. But we're looking for spooky films, not other films that he directed, but spooky films. Okay? So, who directed the music video? And can you name another film that he directed? So that's another 2-pointer. Right, next. True or false? So you got 50-50 on this one, unless you know it. After difficulty writing the classic song for Ghostbusters, Ray Parker Jr. was inspired after he saw a commercial for a drain company that helped him coin the line, "Who you gonna call?" Yeah? So, is that true or is that false? Is it true or did I just make it up? Could be either. Write it down. Okay. So that was the music round. Yay! So yeah, write those down. No conferring. And we'll crack on with the answers. If you know the answers, you can now post them up in the chat as we go along. I don't mind. And then at the end, we'll see who got most points. Also, you might want to add them up from your previous scores. So if you got 7 or 8 or whatever, add this score to that score and keep a tally yourselves, because I can't be bothered. Right, next. Name the American punk pop band that had a song with the lyric "and will have Halloween and Christmas." It was, of course, Blink 182 or 182, which way you want to say it. In the UK we say Blink 182, but I'm pretty sure it's 182 in the USA. And name the song title. The song title was "Miss You." Did you get that one? Yeah, so yeah, just write it down. You can put it in the chat if you got it. Keep a note. It's pretty niche, but I think most people would have probably got that one. One of the most recognisable songs this time of year is the Monster Mash, going to number 1 in the USA and released in 1962. But why did the BBC ban the record from airplay on release? Why was it banned in the UK? Seems like a pretty, boring, well, not really a boring song, but it's pretty unoffensive. So what do you think? Post down below. I'm going to give you a second. Paul Cross says they didn't pay the TV license. Could be. Could be. They didn't pay the TV license. So yeah, why did they ban it on release? Secondly, what year did it finally chart in the UK? So at some point they re-released it in the UK, and it did chart. So what year did it chart? Okay, so it was released in 1962. How long was it until it charted in the UK? I think it got to number 3 or something like that. But yeah, before I was born. So the answers to this one are: it was too morbid for UK listeners. Really? Too morbid. Okay, fine. Too morbid. Anyway, too morbid for UK listeners. Did you get that one? Pretty stupid reason, but there was a lot of things banned by the BBC around that time for pretty stupid reasons. And what year did it finally chart in the UK? 1973. My God, it's like ages. So yeah, quite a way after the release. Next question. Why did New Line Cinema sue Will Fresh Prince Smith in 1988 and Jazzy Jeff? DJ Jazzy Jeff. They sued DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince's record label for Nightmare on Elm Street's copyright infringement on the track "A Nightmare on My Street." You can actually listen to the song on YouTube if you put in Nightmare on My Street. And I think they settled out of court, and I think eventually they managed to sort it out. But New Line Cinemas did put in an injunction and sued them for basically singing stroke rapping awfully about Freddy Krueger and the plot line of Nightmare on Elm Street. So there you go. Now you know. I'm sure that won't ever come up in conversation again. Once everyone sang about werewolves in London, but what was the name of the restaurant the werewolf was looking for? Okay, we all know he had a Chinese menu in his hand, but what was the restaurant he was looking for? Are these questions too tough? Everyone's gone really quiet. Dog's making a noise. Anyone? No? Is the chat frozen? Was everyone just really stunned by the weird sort of niche of the questions I'm asking? So yeah, okay. He was looking for a place called Lee Ho Fooks. Not Holy, but Lee Ho. So yeah, there you go. Now you know. Yep, so which rock stroke hip hop country singer sampled Werewolves in London for his 2008 hit All Summer Long? It was Kid Rock. He also sampled Sweet Home Alabama, I do believe. The song wasn't that good. Next question. Which band wrote and had a hit with the song Pet Sematary for the film adaptation of Stephen King's novel of the same name? It wasn't a big hit, but it did chart. No, we just don't have a clue. So yeah, does anyone get this? It was a punk band, an American punk band. I believe they're all deceased now. See, where is Gaz? Gaz would have got this one straight away. It wasn't the Beatles. It was an American classic punk band. Stephen King asked them to write the song for his film. Pet Sematary. Yeah, they actually went around his house and recorded it, I think, or wrote it in his basement or something. Do you get it? No, everyone's really silent in the chat. Which one is? Yeah, Tom Pratt's got it. The Ramones. It was the Ramones. Who directed Michael Jackson's, spelt wrong, Thriller music video? Did you get this one? It was John Landis. Yes, it was. Can you name another spooky film directed by this person? Okay, not executive producer, not producer, not starring in or writing, but directed. Okay, you got loads of guesses. Okay, there's quite a few films he's. Well done, Albert. Yeah, it's Ramones. Chipping in a bit late there, mate, but yeah, it was. Unless my delaying is that bad. So. Can you name another film? Well, here's the list of films I found anyway. American Werewolf in London, which has already been mentioned. Twilight Zone the movie. Burke and Hare, which is Simon Pegg, about the two grave robbers. Schlock, which is a pretty niche film. And Innocent Blood. Paul Cross, Animal House is not a spooky film. Okay? He did direct Animal House and The Three Amigos, but they are not spooky films. So yeah, well done, Tom. You get American Werewolf in London. You're keeping a note of your scores. Moving on. True or false? Okay, so you can just have a stab at this one. After difficulty writing the classic song for Ghostbusters, Ray Parker Jr. was inspired after he saw a commercial for a drain company that helped him coin the line, "Who you gonna call?" Is that true or false? It is, in fact, got a dead horse in it. Hasn't got a dead horse in this one. But true or false? It is in fact true. It is. It's true. You're staying up till 4 a.m, couldn't think of anything, and yeah, a random advert came on cable TV, and he thought, well, that's it. It's a hit, that is. Good. There you go. Right, round 3, the third round. So how many did you get out of 10 in that last round? Were you adding it up? Were you counting? Do you care? What's your total score? Huh? I know some of them are pretty niche. I know some people are just like, I give up already. In fact, quite a few people have given up already. 3 out of 10. 6 out of 10, 13 out of 20. Okay, in total, okay, yeah. 3 out of 10. That's not to be sniffed at. Like, there were some tough ones in there. So right, we're gonna crack on then with TV and film. Expect them to be just as niche. Hate music. Tell me about it. Every time I go to a pub quiz, there's always questions on soap and sports. And I can't do soaps and I don't watch sports, so I never get any of them. That's why my quiz is just weird and niche, because they're the sort of questions I would ask. So yeah, people are 3 out of 20. I said it was tough. Right, round 3 then. TV and film. Good luck. Let's go. Which 2007 comic book action film stars Nicolas Cage, a stunt motorcyclist, and what are his characters' names? He plays 2 characters in the same film because Nicolas Cage is just a genius. He's an acting genius. But he did play 2 characters in this comic book action film. Don't put the answers down below. Write them down on a piece of paper and we'll save it for later. Moving on. In the film Beetlejuice, which actor played Beetlejuice? And I haven't spelt those wrong because the name of the film is actually different to his name. Very strange. But anyway, yeah. Which actor played him? Yeah, that's quite an easy question. It's pretty straightforward, easy question. Which actor played Beetlejuice? Don't Google it. Okay, just think in your head brain. And, think hard enough, you'll get it. Okay, next question. Which of the following was not in line as an alternative for Beetlejuice after the film studio thought the title Beetlejuice, hence the different spelling than his actual name, was too unusual? So they kind of, in the end, they went, yeah, okay, we'll call it Beetlejuice because no one would be able to spell Beetlejuice the way you've spelled it. So anyway, the 3 options are House Ghosts, The Spooky House, or Scared Sheetless. Okay? So 2 of those were actual suggestions by the director or scriptwriters, and one of them is a fabrication. Ooh. So which one is which? Hey, write it down. House Ghost, Spooky House, Scared Sheetless. One of those is not an alternative to Beetlejuice. In the short film Michael Jackson's Thriller, who was the narrator? We know it was directed by John Landis, legend, but there was another legend who was the narrator at the beginning and pretty much all the way through. Okay, another fairly easy one. Classic actor, classic horror. Who was the narrator? Got that one? Again, write it down, don't put it in the chat, and we'll move swiftly on towards the next spooky question. Which 2002 horror film tells the story of a mysterious videotape which appears to cause death to anyone who watches it within a week? Really easy. Really easy one. So 2002 horror film. People watch video cassette, then they croak it. But what was the film? Next question. Which of the following is not a murder weapon used by Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th films? I think all of these are from either 1 or 2. Anyway, the choices are axe, syringe, chainsaw, sleeping bag, ice pick, liquid nitrogen, machete, hammer, or spear gun. One of those was not a murder weapon used by Jason. Okay, he didn't use it at all in any of the films. It may have featured in the film, but he didn't use one. Okay, so one of them he didn't use. Next question. Which actor played Dr. Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Easy. Got it? Good. Moving on. Which character of Winston of which actor, I should say, not really character. Oh, sorry, I'm reading it wrong. I'm tired. The character Winston was meant to have joined the team much earlier in Ghostbusters. I should have put that in there, but you probably got it already. And would have been slimed at the hotel if which popular comedian had not turned down the role. He actually rewrote it because this person just turned down the role for the role of Winston. So he actually appeared halfway through the film instead of being in it at the beginning. But which popular comedian of the time turned down the role of Winston? Do you know? I'm not old enough to... Come on, everyone's seen Ghostbusters. Doesn't matter how old you are. You got to have seen Ghostbusters. Okay? Next question. Oh no, it's not next question at all. That is the end of round 3. Okay, so the answers to round 3. We'll whiz through these fairly quickly. Which 2007 comic book film stars Nicolas Cage as stunt motorcyclist, and what were his characters' names? Okay, are we going to give you a 2? Is this a 2-pointer question? Yeah, let's get 2 points. Okay, out of 10, 2 points. So one point for one character that he plays, and another point for the other character he plays. I mean, they're the same character, but they have different names. Definitely have different names. Do you know what they are? Post them below now. Okay. There's a bit of a delay. There we go. Should start coming through. Pretty easy. I mean, you know, there we go. Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider. Simon's hit the nail on the head there. And what an actor Nicolas Cage is. Oh, just pure genius. So yeah, it was Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. Johnny Pass. Okay, so moving on. Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. In the film Beetlejuice, which actor played Beetlejuice? And it was Michael Keaton. So Michael Keaton played Beetlejuice. Okay, you should have got that one. Classic film again. Doesn't matter what year you were born, you surely should have seen Beetlejuice by now, unless you're like 8. I think our kids saw Beetlejuice by the time they were 8. Anyway, moving on. Did you get that one? Good, well done. Which of the following was not aligned? It's very Beetlejuice heavy, aren't they? Which of the following line is not in line as an alternative for the Beetlejuice film? Of the studio thought the film title Beetlejuice was just too unusual, so they put forward 2 alternatives. 2 of these are true. One of them is a fabrication. I made it up. Okay, do you know which one I made up and which ones are actual suggestions for the theatrical release of Beetlejuice? Post up the answers down below. I didn't bring up the paintball horror film because I think about 4 people have seen it, and it is pretty bad, isn't it? It is a pretty bad film, let's be honest. Although there's a new film called Paintball Massacre coming out next year, mid next year. It's filmed in the UK. It's a budget film, and yeah, Paintball Massacre. Goggle safety, don't know. Probably not good. Right, okay, so the answer to this one, let's get me a little thing, is The Spooky House. Yeah, house ghosts and scared sheetless apparently were actual suggestions. I think Tim Burton actually put called Scared Sheetless. So yeah, there we go. Did you get that one right? Good, well done. If you didn't, commiserations, that's terribly sad. In the short film Michael Jackson Thriller, who was the narrator? Okay, for the film that was with the, was the Spooky House in italic? It was, I gave you a hint there. So yeah, who was the narrator in Thriller? It was, of course, the legendary Vincent Price. Okay, unmistakable voice. It was Vincent Price who actually narrated it. So yeah, if you got that, well done. If you didn't, yeah, never mind. Again, you have to know it, I guess. In which 2002 horror film tells the story of a mysterious videotape that appears to cause death to anyone who watches it within a week? Vincent Price. Okay, did anyone get that one? It was The Ring. Of course it was. Easy. Okay, let's move on. Which of the following is not a murder weapon used by Jason Voorhees in the film Friday the 13th or subsequent movie film? This one's a bit of an odd one, to be honest, because it is chainsaw. And there's so many images and things of Jason in the hockey mask holding a chainsaw when he never used a chainsaw. Someone attacked him with a chainsaw in one of the films, but he never used it to murder anyone with. But all the other ones did, including a sleeping bag. Well, they put them in the sleeping bag and smacked them against a tree, I believe, but it was a chainsaw. Wow, did you get that one right? Well done if you did. And if you didn't, I'm not surprised, because so many like get-ups and Halloween costumes of hockey mask, blood down the hockey mask, and chainsaw. Even Simpsons even did it. It's wrong. Anyway, next question. Which actor played Dr. Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show? It was, of course, the amazing actor, and he also played the devil in the film Legend, which was who starred in Legend? I think it was his first film, wasn't it? Very short actor. You know who he is. It was Tim Curry, but the very short actor. Yeah, you know who he is. It was Tim Curry. Just clicked ahead. The character of Winston was meant to have joined the team much earlier and would have been slimed at the hotel. Which popular Canadian and not turned down the role? It was, I just clicked on it, Eddie Murphy. Apparently Eddie Murphy turned down the role of Winston in Ghostbusters because it was written for him. And he said no, he didn't want to do it. And they had to rewrite it. And that's why he appears halfway through the film. There you go. Now you know. So, how did you do on the TV and film round? Post up your scores and your totals, if you're bothering to keep totals, down below. I will wait. So, next one is a little bit different. We've got movie posters. I've cut out the titles of the movie posters. I haven't really altered them any other way. And just think about it, name the film, write it down, and then we'll crack on. Simon, 9 out of 10. Obviously a movie buff. 6, yeah, pretty good, 6. There were some pretty niche questions in there. Moving on to the movie round. Movie posters. See if you can get what movie. There's some really easy ones in there. I don't think there's anything really difficult. If you know your horror films, you'll breeze through this one, believe me. So the first film, okay, what's the film? Okay, pretty simple. Yeah, pretty iconic. Okay, don't post it up below, write it down. Next one, again, classic film. When there's no more room in hell, dead will walk the earth. There's a clue if you ever won one. Okay, classic film. Got those? Okay, good. Let's move on to the next two. Ignore the bit, down the bottom. Okay, it kind of fudged up on the kind of thing. But it says a 24-hour nightmare of terror. And there's a guy holding a knife. There's some people in the woods going, I'm scared by a lake. Okay, so yeah, pretty easy if you know this one. This may not be a poster necessarily you've seen, but these are posters that were on general release for the films when it was released. Okay, got that one? Okay, next one. You have been warned. Little person, the shadow of a wolf or a dire wolf. Either way, it looks spooky and weird. It's definitely a horror film. You have been warned, but what was the film? Got it? Write it down. Good. Next question. The most ferociously original horror film of the year. Okay. Anyone got this one? Okay, classic. Again, another classic film. Should be able to get this one. Moving on to the next. There are some very good reasons why to be afraid of the dark. Yeah, that's the tagline. It's got a little vampy monster thing norming on the roof of a house. Do you know the film? Again, another classic. Should be able to get these ones. They all seem to be slightly older films, but you know, old horror films. There's more chance more people have seen them, I think. Okay, moving on then. This one is just too easy. Okay, The Night He Came Home. Pumpkin Dagger Knife. Okay, pretty easy. You should be able to get that one. Next one, spooky, minimalist, but again another classic horror film. You should be able to get this one. Come on, this is an easy round. Next, little bit more difficult maybe. Some clues are in the picture. Yeah, should be able to get this one. If you know your horror films, it should be pretty easy. So, I think this is the last one. The ultimate in alien terror. So we've gone a bit sci-fi horror on this one. Yeah, can you name that film? Okay, so that was the name the movie round. No, the film was not called A Pram, but that is definitely a clue. So name the movie round. Did you get all the movies? Okay, let's just crack on and see if you did. Okay, so Pretty's classic. Okay, one on the left, one on the right. Did you get these? Saw and Dawn of the Dead. Okay. Saw people should have. Pac-Man. Is that the pram? No, it wasn't a Pac-Man. It was definitely. Or are you saying Dawn of the Dead is Pac-Man? Anyway, Saw, Dawn of the Dead. Good. I hope you got those. Next set. Okay, these ones may be a little bit more difficult. Certainly the one on the left, I have seen several posters of this film that are different. Certainly different. But the one on the right, I've definitely seen this one before. Did you get these ones, guys? Did you get those? Okay, Friday the 13th on the left. Obviously, that's the camp by the lake. Is it Crystal Waters? I think it is. And The Omen. Okay, the little devil boy. So, yeah, Friday the 13th and The Omen. Next two. Okay. Again, two classic films. Shouldn't have any problem if you're a horror aficionado. Evil Dead and Fright Night. Okay. Pretty easy, or you're kicking yourselves. You're going, oh, of course it was. Of course it was. Okay, is this the final two? No, it isn't. This is almost two more after this. So, yeah, Pumpkin Dagger and Spooky Little Girl on the TV. Halloween, Poltergeist. Okay, two fairly easy ones. I took off the tagline on Poltergeist here because I thought that might give it away a little bit more. But you should have got those ones. They're iconic images for horror films. So the final two. Okay, we've got the little Pac-Man pram, and we've got some kind of thing. Did you get these ones right? It is, of course, Rosemary's Baby and The Thing. Okay. Get those? Good. How many did you get out of 10? Okay, and your totals, if you're keeping track of your totals. Okay, good, let's move on. Okay, this is our final round. If you're still here and you haven't think I've gone completely niche, art and literature round. Okay, it's not too tough, don't worry. There's not too many like obscure art paintings. I think there's only one actually, and literature is vaguely literature. There's a couple of niche things in there. If you're a little bit well read, you might be able to have a stab at them at least. So yeah. Okay. So let's have a look at the scores. Stuart 6, Simon 10 out of 10. Well done. Stuart 6, Albert 8, Paul 2. Oh my God, 2. 4. Well, there must have been some tough ones in there, or are you just not a fan of horror films? And a 6. So yeah, it proved to be quite tough. I thought that one might have been fairly easy, but you know, there you go. Right, so moving on to art and literature. Oh well, who's in the lead at the moment? 29 out of 40, 11 out of 40, 22 out of 40, 29 out of 40 seems to be well in the lead there with Simon. I don't know if anyone's got anything higher than 29 out of 40, but that's pretty good going. Okay, art and literature. Moving on. Which was the first film to be based on a Stephen King novel? Not the first film ever, but the first Stephen King novel to be adapted into a film. Okay, 1979 maybe. Classic film, iconic imagery. So yeah, if you know Stephen King and films, you should be able to get this one. Who painted The Scream? Everyone has seen this painting somewhere or another. It's a classic, iconic bit of artwork, but who painted it? And I could be really mean and ask for the actual spelling of the name, but if you get near it, I'll let you have it. Okay, but yeah, I'm after both names as well. So it's first and surname, not just one. Okay. Jay Anson wrote which 1977 novel, which was subsequently turned into over 28 horror films and adaptations released over the course of 41 years from 1979 to 2020. So at some point along the line, you would have seen a film with this name in the title. Okay, it's being re-released, and in fact, I think 28, there's probably more than 28. Because there's probably ones that are based loosely on rather than direct copies of the novel and sequels and prequels and things like that. So Jay Anson wrote it 1977, but it has been over the last 41 years there's been constant reworkings of this classic horror novel and films. Okay, but do you know what the film is? Write it down. Okay, this one's going to be tough for some people. If you don't know Terry Pratchett, you're probably just going to be like, I don't know. I'm not after both names. If you get 2 of them, I'll give you the point. Okay. Let's see, is this a 2-pointer question? Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 2 points for all 3, and 1 point if you just get 1. Or more, or 2. Okay. Now let's be nice. I'll give you 2 points if you get 2 or 3. I'll give you 1 point if you get 1. That's a bit fairer, isn't it? Either you know this or you don't, basically. So yeah. Next question. Moving swiftly on, because some of you are looking at me going. Next question. Which classic play features the line double, toil and trouble, fire burn, and cauldron bubble? Okay, classic play, basically. Like, if you learn any kind of literature, you should be able to take a stab at which play that line is from. I think it should be Hubble double, toil and trouble, shouldn't it? Not double. Okay, maybe I've misquaffed, but anyway, you get my drift. Robert Kirkman's zombie apocalypse comic book series had a successful TV show of the same name, but what was it? So, comic book series by Robert Kirkman of zombie apocalypse had a successful TV show, but what was the TV show? And the name of the comic book is the same. So yeah, any ideas? Even if you don't know, just think zombie TV show and just put it down. Right, who wrote the original story of Frankenstein? Should be able to get this one. It's a classic. Even if you've never read it, you'll probably know. And what is the first name of Dr. Frankenstein? Okay, I was going to ask a question about the monster and what was the monster called, but the monster was just called the monster. And I think in some adaptations he was called Adam, but he was never called Frankenstein. It was Frankenstein's monster, or the monster, or occasionally Adam. But yeah, what was the first name of Dr. Frankenstein? Okay. Next. Name the slightly alcoholic butterscotch drink that can be found in Hogsmeade Village, and name the main character of the series of books that they feature. Okay, so you think butterscotch drink, Hogsmeade, you know, it all sounds a bit like that. It would be in that book. Very popular children's book series and films. So yeah, you should be able to at least get one of these. And I think this is a 1 point question, but I want both for the point. Okay, you've got to name the alcoholic drink, slightly alcoholic drink, and the main character of the books as well. Is that it? Yes. Final round. An hour. My God, an hour of your time I've taken up. That's terrible. You know, we've got like at least half a dozen people still playing along, so that's good going. I'm glad I spent most of today preparing this slideshow and these questions for your amusement, so to speak. Right, so answers then. The first film to be based on a Stephen King novel. So Stephen King's first film, well, first film that was a novel from one of his novels. So not his first novel, but the first film of his novel. Did you get this one? It's a classic. Blood-stained prom dress. Yeah, ring any bells? Big, like, iconic, loads of blood at the prom. It's like pretty. Yep, Simon got it. It was Carrie. Well done. Well done, guys. Loads of people got that one. Who painted the iconic picture, The Scream? The Scream, I'm not particularly fussed about the spelling of his name. As long as you got it around the right area. If you post up below, what do you got? Simon's got it. It was Edvard Munch. Okay. Edvard Munch. So yeah. There you go. If you put Edward, I'll also accept that. So Jay Anson wrote which 1977 novel, which was subsequently turned into over 28 horror films and adaptations released over the course of 41 years, from 1979 to 2020. That's a long time. Lots of adaptations, some good, some terrible, and some really terrible. But it was Amityville Horror. Yeah, there's been loads of Amityville horror films and adaptations. Did you get that one? Yeah, Amityville, I will accept Amityville as well as Amityville Horror. Or the Amityville Horror. Well done if you got that one right. Right, this one's difficult. Again, if you get more than one, i.e. 2 or 3, you got 2 points on this one. If you only get 1, then you get 1. I'm after one name of the 2 for each character to get it. So if you want to post up the list down below before I reveal the answer, you're welcome to do so. Keep tabs of where you are as well, your points. If you don't read Terry Pratchett, I'm really sorry. But yeah, this question obviously isn't for you. The answers are Granny Weatherwax, Nanny Og, and Mugrat Garlic. Okay. Yep. A few blank faces. I'm sure a couple of people got. Well, you got Grandma. I can give you Grandma. She is called that in a couple of books. But yeah, my missus, her sister, and her mum. Probably not good. Which classic features Double Bubble, Toilet Trouble, Fireburn, and Cauldron Bubble? It was, of course, Macbeth. Okay, literary buffs, it was Macbeth. Robert Kirkman's Zombie Apocalypse comic book series had a successful TV show of the same name, but what was it? It was, of course, The Walking Dead. It was. Right, cool. Who wrote the original story of Frankenstein? It was, of course, Mary Shelley. Okay, most people should have got that one. And what was the first name of Dr. Frankenstein? It was Victor. Name the slightly alcoholic butterscotch drink that we found in Hogsmeade Village and the name of the character of the series of books they feature. Don't like the books, don't like the series, but I put it in here anyway because it's easy. It is, of course, Butterbeer and Harry Potter. So how many did you get out of that one? Some of the answers went up pretty quick. I think we've got a couple of people that have got high scores there. Probably some 10 out of 10s there, I think. Simon was doing pretty well. I hope you're not using Google. So yeah, that's the end of the quiz. Yay! So what did you get, guys? What did you get? Let's go back to... oh no, broken it. Okay, so what did we get in total then? So we got Simon 38 out of 50, Tom 28 out of 50. Anyone else? Anyone else want to post their scores up? Well done, Simon. You can pretend that you lifted up this trophy. Yay! Yay! I'm the champion. You can say in your own house. Well done. You get the coveted Paintball Magazine Halloween quiz of about 4 people playing trophy. 31 out of 50, good score. 23 out of 50, missed the first, second and half a round. Yeah, never mind. Glad you could still join us though. So yeah, looks like Simon, 38 out of 50, pretty good score. You got some strong rounds there. I think you did well in the movie poster section particularly, and I think Tom didn't do so well in that one because he was hot on your heels up to that point. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. I really do appreciate it. I hope this has provided to the half a dozen people that joined us in the end some entertainment on your Halloween evening. What's the time now? Is it? No, it's 9 o'clock. Is it 9 o'clock? Yeah, 9 o'clock. Blimey, been at it an hour. So yeah, I won't take up any more of your evening. I hope that entertained you for a little bit anyway. Yeah, we'll do a Christmas quiz. I don't think might do a Christmas Eve quiz. I'm not sure about actual Christmas Day. But if you want to make this a semi-regular thing, I'm more than happy to put some quizzes together and do a little stream of an evening or weekend occasionally. Sorry, the Paintball Magazine has been quiet this year, but obviously we've had to take a step back. The season is pretty much this year, although Woodland Masters had some events go ahead. CPPS, obviously Ainsley and the guys there have done a sterling job keeping that going through COVID. We're heading possibly, I think, definitely, I haven't heard the latest news, for another lockdown everywhere, which isn't really a good sign for people that own sites like ourselves. So do please go and support your local sites and walk-ons if you can. Yeah, it's really difficult and troubling at the moment to get through. I want to stay positive because we've got some fantastic events lined up for 2021. We're going to avoid the first quarter of 2021 because obviously, I think things are still going to be a bit rocky until at least after Easter. Even then, I think it's still questionable. Thursday lockdown to be reviewed on the 3rd of December. Thank you, Carl. Never mind. CPPS Elite stream. Yes, the final CPPS Elite stream tomorrow from 8 a.m. If you can get onto Twitch, and give a like, comment, get involved in that. I know the guys would really appreciate that as well. I'm actually running Airsoft tomorrow, so yeah, that should be fun. Hopefully the weather is going to stay dry. It was supposed to be raining today and it didn't, so I'm hoping tomorrow stays the same. As I said, for events for 2021, we are planning our Red versus Blues game, hopefully coming back to Holmbush. Obviously we were going to do it this year, but it got cancelled by COVID. We're going to Croatia in our Operation Zodiac, which I didn't... The original idea for the game was basically a virus wipes out most of the population and they're fighting for a cure and a vaccine. We wrote that about 2 years before we actually published the game, so we had no idea that this pandemic was coming, so I apologise. It was already in the process before COVID came along. We're also returning to Greece again, in the same area that we used for Operation Medusa for a MagFed only game. We've got a couple other games we want to do as well. I'm also trying to start up a pump tournament and a MagFed tournament. We'll be trialling those in 2021 at my site in Newquay, UK. So I own 2 sites. I've got On Target Games Callington, which is a small site set up in a quarry in a Fallout theme, with Nuka-Cola trucks. So we've got bridges. I've built a load of huts and a castle and stuff like that. So we've got On Target Games Callington and On Target Games Newquay, which we took over this year. We were going to open up, but obviously COVID put kibosh to that one. So yeah, we're hoping to open up that in 2021, hopefully Easter. And yeah, we'll be running our pump tournament and our MagFed tournament down there, and hopefully we'll be bringing the MagFed tournament to other sites around the UK as well. So, because obviously I understand that not everyone can get down to Newquay, even though it's got an airport and you can get flights from Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool, Scotland, everywhere down there. So yeah, I own those 2 sites and run them as well. Yeah, what else have we got going on? Magazine-wise, hopefully. No, we don't have Vault overalls. We do have some blue overalls that I was going to sew 31 because we were going to be Vault 31 on the back of. I still need to build my Vault door, but that's probably going to be next year now. Magazine-wise, we're still kind of operating behind the scenes. Obviously, we haven't been to we've been to like 3 events this year. We went to Mayhem. We did the CPPS Pre-Season Cup. I'm pretty sure we did another event as well, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. But anyway, the magazine, we'll try and look at producing something for the end of this year. It's really difficult. Obviously, paintball companies are struggling at the moment as well, so the last thing they want to do is spend on advertising, unfortunately, in a magazine. So it's going to be quite difficult to kind of fund that from the grassroots. Obviously, we've all heard what's happened to GI stroke Titman stroke Empire. I don't believe, from speaking to people, that GI, Titman, etc. are going anywhere. I believe it's all being sorted out. The assets are being basically sorted, and the company will still be operating in one form or another for the foreseeable. How big companies operate, one closes down, another pops up. It's all very interesting. I'm not really a fan with top end kind of business where business management conglomerates own a big company. But anyway, most of it is hearsay and conjecture that you hear along social media, so take everything with a pinch of salt as always. But I don't believe they're going anywhere as of yet. Obviously, GI have brought Planet Eclipse have brought out Pro Toys Hopper Loader, which is looking very interesting. I believe they got some other products and bits and pieces that are going to be coming out as well. GI USA Canada bankrupt, the receivers have bought in. GI Europe is a separate company, however they do share. Let's not get into that, but everything should be fine and carry on. Like I said, Planet Eclipse bringing out some interesting sort of grassroots end equipment, which is really, really good. What was I saying? Sorry, I got distracted for a second there. Oh yeah, Lux have brought out their new Bolt, which has raised some eyebrows on the internet as well. It's looking very similar to another company's Bolt system, but I've yet to get my hands on it to have a look. So I will reserve judgment until such time as I do. What else interesting has happened? The guys at OMG have just taken over a site in Coventry. Warfighters? No, not Warfighters. Sorry, I didn't write it down off the top of my head, but Paul and the guys there, a fantastic group of people. So they should be bringing out some pretty nice stuff for 2021 coming out of Coventry, I think. So I believe it's an old Delta Force site, and it's got a big village area, big castle. Obviously Delta Force put a lot of money into it, and yeah, hopefully OMG can get that ship shape and reap the rewards of that one, which would be fantastic to see. Obviously Delta Force have slimlined their company at the moment, and yeah, a couple of sites have disappeared, not to be resurrected again, and I believe all the sites that are now currently on the website are the ones that are operating, and maybe a few more coming along closer to like 2021, but we'll have to see. Again, with another lockdown, month long or whatever, that's going to severely impact some of the paintball sites that, you know, this isn't the time of year anyway, and they just had a really bad summer season to then be knocked with another in the winter seasons. Not ideal, but let's fingers crossed we can stay afloat. Lastly, I will be back on top of things for the Paintball magazine. We got some Christmas cards that we'll be posting up again, left over from last year. They were commissioned especially for us. They just got little paintball-y scenes on them, little cartoons, so you can buy packs of those. Help us out. I haven't got around to it yet. I'm finishing off at the moment the video of the FMA F1 mask being unboxed and unceremoniously shot at. That video hopefully be coming out in the next week or so. I've also got an update because some of you follow me on my personal Facebook page, me developing the paintball site down in Newquay and the one in Callington. I've got a whole year of clips going through the year. I've been saving them up, and we're going to do a year coverage of what's been happening, and that goes right from getting down to Newquay, clearing stuff out, to the COVID hitting and how that affected us, and up to recent days. So that's going to take me a while to get that video knocked together as well. But it looks like I'm going to be having a bit of time doing that because we're not going to be having any customers coming in, I would assume. I don't know what the new lockdown is, whether paintball can still operate as an outdoor sport. I haven't looked at the news yet. Anyway, bored you enough. Thank you for sticking with me and chatting this evening, going through a silly quiz. Hopefully we can get a few more people to join us next time. Maybe if we make it a semi-regular thing, if you've got suggestions of what day or evening you would like to do it, I'm more than happy to do that. If you have themes for quizzes or whatever you want to do, then we can do that as well. It's just, again, with the podcast, when COVID came in and the lockdown happened, there was a lot of people out there with a lot of spare time. I wasn't one of them because I was still working on my paintball sites and trying to get things sorted. But there was a lot of podcasts that suddenly shot out, and we decided to take a step back whilst they filled the void. Otherwise you get inundated with loads and loads of podcasts. There's too many to listen to about a niche subject. So we backed off a little bit, but hopefully within the next month or so we're going to start rolling out a little bit more interviews and online chats and things like that, as well as the quizzes. Hopefully moving forward from now into 2021, you can get more of a kind of regular upload of videos, live streams, bits and pieces. So I hope you can join us, help us out, and yeah, thank you for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Anyway, have fun, and we will see you soon. Good night. Enjoy your Halloween. How'd you turn this off?